it's Jess the Sky Kid. We're at Palace de Chilarino. It's Thursday night. And if you missed it, you can go back and watch the previous video. The Brash Menagerie played live for us. Every Thursday night we have live music. That's pretty cool, I think. And thank you and welcome. We're going to start with introductions, your name, and what it is you do in said band. Go ahead.
My name is Drew, and I play guitar and sing sometimes.
If he remembers.
Yes, when he remembers. I'm Jason. I play bass and sing most of the time, but very poorly.
I'm Becca. I try to play electric rhythm, and I forget to sing.
I'm Deegan. I play the drums. No singing there.
And you guys are from, tell that story. Where are you from?
Mostly Madison?
Yeah.
Madison-ish.
Madison.
Three of the four of you are from Madison?
Okay, wait a minute. I live in Madison proper. These are outlier bums.
We live in the burbs.
Yeah.
Madison burbs.
Okay.
Nothing.
And where is it you're from?
I'm from Lodi.
Where's, oh.
So,
That's
north,
on the
north of Madison.
Yeah.
Sort of straight north of Madison.
About 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason's in Marshall, which is about 25 minutes east of Madison, and I'm 4 miles from that in Waterloo.
Oh. Gotcha.
And Becca actually lives in Madison.
Proper.
Wow.
Right, yeah.
Not Fitchburg. It's really
It's
close
like
to
a
Fitchburg.
radius.
No, it's actually not a
So no more than Milwaukee.
No. When we started, a couple of us lived in Milwaukee. Our old drummer, I think still lives here. Or lives in Milwaukee, I don't know.
You don't know where he lives?
I don't know.
Okay.
No.
He kind of bailed on a show one day.
Just
so they were
didn't
Yeah,
show
jealous.
up?
he had some health issues or something, and so Deegan offered to step in, and
Been regretting it ever since.
every day it's been the worst decision we've ever made.
Every day is an embarrassment.
You play every day?
No.
Oh,
Just as a general
And
rule.
that's why it's an embarrassment,
Yeah.
because we.
so when did the Brash Menagerie start?
2014 maybe?
It was like 5 years old.
Yeah.
About 5 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
So what had happened was I had gotten divorced and was
Boom.
looking at.
It's like a joke that's not a joke.
Exactly right.
Hey, why don't you stick a bowl of garbage bags up your nose? How about that? No. I had gotten divorced, and I was looking for things to occupy my time. I was working with Drew, and he was building a studio at his house. And one of my... I'd been in bands through high school and after, but we had never actually recorded anything. We'd played shows, we'd whatever. So one of my bucket list things was I want to record an album. So I went over to Drew's and I took my acoustic guitar and I said, I've got 5 songs that I had written with my other band that I never recorded. I'd like to do that. And then we started recording and I realized that I am a terrible guitar player. And what was acoustic became electric, and what became and what started as a 5-song EP ended up being a 13-song album. And then, so what happened was he put some solos on, and I said, well, there's no way I can play those. You're in the band now. And he's like, well, I guess.
We're a band?
It was a tough audition.
I was like, wow, you recorded those, so yeah. You're in.
So how did you come up with the name, the Brash Menagerie?
It's all him.
So there is a play by Tennessee Williams called The Glass Menagerie.
Mm-hmm.
And long story short, the one of the main characters has a collection of glass animals, and that's her menagerie. And after the divorce, I didn't really feel like I had anything except my songs. So I just had a collection of songs that were mine and mine alone, and So it kind
And they
of
were very brash.
and they were in that. So that's
Uncharted territory.
I'm gonna continue to believe that it's named after the pilot episode of the original Star Trek series, which is the Glass Menagerie.
Also, yes.
Also,
yeah.
yeah.
yeah. You got it.
Both options are super cool, guys.
Deep cuts. Deep cuts.
That's what happens when the glass breaks.
Oh man.
My high school
So
actually
much.
did that play when I was
That sounds
a junior.
Yeah.
Many
I worked on
moons.
stage crew.
So you have had some lineup changes because this is not the founding group.
It is not. We started as a three-piece. Our original drummer Jason had some health issues and couldn't make it to some shows. Deacon stepped in, and we were a three-piece for
Until about last week.
I was gonna say for a couple years.
About 3 years, yeah.
Yeah.
3.5 years I've been in this band.
Oh gosh.
Something like that.
Wow, 3.5 years too long.
Buddy.
Flies.
Imagine I'm gonna have to wring this shirt out. Yeah, that's right.
Um,
This is my last show, everybody.
We just broke up.
well, it's been great.
Give it
Thanks
5
for having
minutes.
us.
That actually took a while.
Longer than
A lot
us.
quicker.
But yeah, so a month or two ago, Drew was not able to do a show that we had booked in Stevens Point, and Becca she had her own band for I don't know how long.
Acoustic guitar though. I just started playing electric a couple weeks ago.
Well, all right, but she has been playing guitar forever, and she was gracious enough to fill in for Drew while he was dealing with some stuff, and then we did another couple of shows and said, "Hey, do you want to do this?" And she was like, "Sure."
Yeah.
So I didn't do anything else.
I had to go and buy an electric guitar, literally.
I think that story is based off of the first Star Trek episode.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, next generation though, yeah.
Yeah.
So next Jason Q. Oh shit! Failed the nerd test. Name that actor. John Delancey.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yeah, I nerd hard.
Oh my
I
God.
like Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah.
Have you been watching Super? Okay, what's not?
This honestly could be a whole nother episode right here. I'm gonna eat one.
That's
coming
my
up, bud.
nerdness. Also, like, just random crazy facts about lots of stuff that people are like, why do you know that stuff? And then you're like, I don't know, because it's fun to know weird
know
stuff,
something,
like
yeah.
bat facts, and things like that. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
We're not going to go into that. It's not about that.
We will after this.
Yes.
We're gonna do some deep dive into bat facts.
Bat facts! But seriously though, a lot of bats are dying because of white nose syndrome.
Yeah.
So-
you have to like clean yourself off after
Yeah,
you go
don't-
to caves and stuff.
Right. Don't spread that. It's horrible.
There's some cool caves in like Ohio. For them.
And
I'm
they're
not
the
getting involved.
only mammals that fly, and they really have fingers. That's so cute.
They're freaking adorable.
They're super cute. And the largest bat is the
What do you
flying
know?
fox.
Yeah, I know.
Did you know
Yeah,
that?
after
Did you know that their
This is a bat.
wingspan
This is
can
a
be
fox.
almost 6 feet?
That's
That's
bigger than me.
scary as
fucking
shit.
ridiculous. And their
No,
body
thanks.
mass is like, they themselves are about 5 feet. So that's like a giant fucking flying thing.
What is
See
happening?
one
I like watching the tiny ones eat a grape. Because it's so big. It's like, it'd be like if you and I like
You
chomp out
watch
a watermelon.
bunnies eat strawberries?
It's so
Sorry. Anyway. We're
This,
trying hard.
New episode of Animal Planet.
I'm not
Thanks for tuning
anywhere
in.
near the level of David Attenborough, though, because like that man at 93 is still yelling at the world about how we should really protect the planet. So, anyways, you live in Madison. You guys are green. You know that stuff, right? And the outliers. You know.
Oh, so much.
So, anyways, kind of with that being said, with the new members and that sort of thing, how often are you all playing out? And I know that you've just recorded new music, and so let's talk about that, like where you guys are playing and the recording process and all that sort of stuff.
Sure.
I would just like to jump in really quick and
Yeah.
say, I literally joined the band, 4 weeks ago? And I was like, sure, I'll join. And then all of a sudden they're like, well, we have a show here. We're going to be in the studio. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
So as much as you've
And
been
I'm
like,
just going to be like that extra hobby, like on the side. It's
Oh, no.
cool. It's
We've
cool.
been-
I'm enjoying it.
We've been crazy busy, I think, since like June,
Yeah.
right? It started June 22nd in Oshkosh.
Hey.
That show was terrible, so we practiced.
Right.
So we went down to the Quad Cities and did Dive Fest there. And then we have something the next weekend, I think, early in August.
Yeah, so it all kind of blurs together.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have been really busy.
Every other weekend since
Yeah.
middle of June, basically. We've been doing something.
I knew you were busy because I see it a lot. So
But yeah, actually, so we do have a show coming up on Saturday with
in Madison,
in Madison,
at the Wisco.
at the Wisco with Kenosha locals, the First Rule. Also courtesy of Tim.
They've been
And-
on the show.
That's right, they have.
They played our Halloween party 2 years back, and we fit all of them down here.
Okay.
And our massive amount of people we had here.
Wait, you got a ska band down here?
Yeah, we'll have to swap
We've had
stories.
lots of ska bands
down
down
here.
here.
Jesus.
We had an
I was
8-piece from
starting over
Texas
the
down
4
here.
piece.
I was a little nervous about the Wisco having them there, but this okay. If they fit in here, they'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then Midnight Gravediggers, which is I guess a newer, kind of heavier metal punk band.
We'll find out in 48 hours.
Yeah, we sure will.
Day after tomorrow. That's how that works. So recording, talk about that.
So yeah, we have a friend that runs Big Wheel Studios
Yep, in Wanakee.
in Wanakee.
I used to be in a band with him in the early mid 2000s, and then that broke up, and he decided he wanted to start recording, and he's just sort of slowly been building a studio. He built one in his old house, which promptly paid for itself very quickly. Then he and his wife bought a new house, a little bit bigger, so he built a studio, like studs, insulation, crazy involved process. I helped a little bit with that, and then yeah, so when we decided we were going to record, that was my first call. So we went to Wheeler at Big Wheel Recording.
Yeah, got a couple weeks ago, 3 songs.
Mhm.
got
So yeah,
down.
so we decided. So Drew has actually recorded literally everything else we've done.
Yeah. Even the little EP things that we put out. That
Yep. So we just decided to try see what Big Wheel could do, and we decided we're gonna do a 3-song EP, and we knocked it out in a weekend. And actually, it's
I think it was more we had an amount of money to spend.
I was
I
gonna
was-
You had no
ask that.
choice this weekend. Or
I think initially we were like, let's go do one new song really well. And then we're like, well, we can remix this old song. We'll do 2 songs.
yeah.
And then we kind of finished up another new one. We're like, all right, we're going to get 3 songs done. And it literally came down to the minute.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Everything.
So when you record, do they charge you by hour and minutes, or do they
Yeah,
charge
he
you
charges
by song, or
he
how
charges
does that
an
work?
hourly rate for tracking,
Mhm.
and then a separate hourly rate for mixing and mastering.
I was gonna ask if he does all of that in house.
He does.
Okay.
Yep.
So is he charging us every time we like joke in the messenger feed, like
He's
No.
just
hours
charging
of just
you.
talking shit?
You are getting the bill.
Yeah.
This every time I belch into the microphone, you're getting the bill.
Can you go Dutch on the recording bill?
Now he's just
Here we
talking us
go.
every minute we're in the studio.
Let's talk about that though, because a lot of people talk about recording and that it is usually we go in with a goal and it's per what we can afford. As a band, do you have like money set aside for this project, or are all of you pitching in to contribute to the success of this?
For me, this one was a little bit different. This band has a band fund that had been going since before I was in. So we were able to use that fund to pay for this recording.
I'm guessing that's mostly from like merch and like.
Merch and whatever stuff we made
So
at
yeah,
shows,
so
Oh, okay.
haven't spent on gas. He's
So
just
yeah.
been stockpiling in a bank account.
Right.
Oh, I
So
was
what
wondering
we-
this too.
Oh, were you now? No, so yeah, whenever we do a show, whenever we get paid for the show, I put in a savings account for the band, and then we just keep going with that. And then, so when we decided to record, I looked at the account and I was like, oh, yeah, we
We
can
got
do
some
this.
scratch, yeah.
We can do this. So so I think it turned out great.
It sounds excellent, honestly.
Yeah.
It's the best sounding recording I've been a part of.
No way I could have
Wow.
done it.
So how does it feel not to have to do it?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Actually.
It was fun. Yeah, we it really was. Like we got there 10, 11 in the morning, left at 6.
Ooh.
And we knocked out 3 songs. They turned out great.
Did you record it as a whole live, or did you?
No, he doesn't have enough microphones for that.
Okay.
So I did scratch tracks on guitar before I went in, picked the BPMs that I could play with on drums.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I had those to play along with. I did the drums first, finally got those finished, and then you did bass.
Yep.
And then I think I did other guitar part, which is what she plays now.
Mm-hmm.
And then Drew followed up with lead guitar and guitar solos.
Yep.
Guitar solo.
And then vocals, whatever. But
Vocals, whatever.
these two are really good, honestly.
It's really easy to sing. I hate this song.
I like the added personality that you threw in there towards the end of the hating.
I was
So,
I was actually startled. I was like, wow, that was louder than I was expecting.
She does that on the recording too. So.
Yeah.
Jason gets scared every time he hears it.
we were starting to listen to that out on the porch before you guys showed up. And I was like, I don't know if we should keep listening to this stuff before they come here. Because I like, Tuesday nights we listen and do like a preview, and then it's like you guys come, and I like to have that experience of what you sound like and look like live so that I have an unbiased opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Ta-da! So, but I read other stuff, and I go through your social medias and things like that as well. As a band, because we talked about like the financials of things, and it's something I've asked other people, and they're kind of torn on this. Do you have like an asking price when a person asks you, hey, want to do a show? Do you go, sure, it's X, Y, and Z for us to play? Or do you just show up and hope that you make something?
I would say it depends a little bit. If it's some buds that we like playing with, we'll just roll on out to the show, and if we get something, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
If it's somebody we think can pay some money, well, that's for a little bit of money, but we're not, we're not like a $400 or $200 band,
Normally, if we play like around Madison too, and there's a band from Milwaukee.
Oh yeah,
we'll
I
just give
specifically
them
meant
money.
more out of town.
Yeah.
they just
In-town
give the
stuff,
money.
we give the money to the out-of-town bands,
Yeah.
because that's what you should do.
You should do that? No.
Unless they're assholes.
Right. Well, generally, it doesn't cost us much to play where we normally would anyway, and if a band is out of town, they can use the gas money and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, kind of the reverse is true as well. Like
If we travel,
we're traveling,
we'll usually get something.
yeah, we like a
The
little
bands
something.
generally help us out and take care of us,
Yeah, and actually, we've been pretty fortunate. Like most bands that we play with feel the same way, so it's never really an issue if we're traveling.
Yeah. As long as we're playing with a band that also travels occasionally, they get it.
Mm-hmm. So I have then 2 questions, A, about traveling, and then B, kind of about, you've all mentioned other bands that you previously were in. Is anybody currently in anything else, or is this your main focus?
That's it.
Yeah, I guess this is it.
You looked really
That's his.
That one wasn't the trick question.
No.
That's his resting bitch face.
No, that's just I'm generally confused.
Have you been moonlighting in that top 40 cover band again?
I had to cut that off.
So then, second question, travel. Like, you've mentioned throughout this interview now that you've gone several places in Wisconsin. Have you, and Iowa, have you decided a next goal would be to kind of do a mini tour? And if so, where would that be? Or is touring not a thing and you just want to stay local-ish?
Well, we got a couple things.
Hard hitting.
Man,
There you go!
I was not expecting such hard-hitting journalism. No.
Such quality questions.
We actually have so
Cuties.
last year we branched out a little further into Illinois. We actually have some friends in Nebraska that we are well, not yet, but
I'm trying to work out the timing of all of us getting off work.
Yeah,
Jason
set up
getting
a little
off
mini
work.
tour. But yeah, I don't know. We around the state is fine. Illinois is fine. Yeah, kind of just the Midwest. We haven't really decided to do anything major.
Yeah, like we haven't done any like 2-day bangers yet, have we? Like a Friday, Saturday
Like a
night?
weekend warrior trip.
Yeah.
We've done a couple of them.
That's right, yeah.
Chippewa Falls.
Oh yeah,
Port
Chippewa Falls all the way to
Washington.
Port Washington.
Yeah.
Whew, that was a fuck of a drive.
Well, for Drew, it
I
was
was
because his
passed
seat
out.
just got smaller and
Right,
smaller
yeah.
as the year.
I just passed out for most of it.
You just was sleeping.
Kept getting hit in the face with a
drums.
ukulele.
Yeah.
So when you travel, do you have like a van,
God, that'd be nice.
or are you all separately driving?
No. So I guess we actually need to sort that out because
What we came here
Now we
tonight
have
is
an extra person, which means extra gear.
Yeah.
What we came in here tonight is the smallest caravan we've ever had, which is 2 cars.
Oh wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So normally,
Well, for a
if we
while-
travel, we can gear share with other bands,
Yeah.
and we can fit the 3 of us in his truck. But
If we have to bring stuff, like for a while, Drew lived in Appleton, so unless we were going to Chicago, it made no sense for him to
Yeah.
come by us and
So
pick
I
up
would just
gear and then
drive.
go somewhere.
I would just drive down wherever.
Yeah.
Which we kind of still do that though.
Yeah, I
but,
guess so.
which is whatever.
Did you move closer to be to this?
Well, actually,
He moved back home because he missed living in the woods.
yeah.
pretty much.
Pretty much. So like yeah, about a year ago, I moved back to Appleton. That's where I'm originally from, and it just wasn't my thing. So I moved back in June, back down here.
Mm. And then you never were home again.
Yeah. Well,
Not a lot
maybe,
of weekends.
Maybe twice. But yeah, it just kind of. It's been good because we've been able to practice too now. And it's kind of helped our.
that has been very helpful.
Yeah, it was kind of tough there.
Turns out, yeah, when you practice, you can actually turn
Yeah.
into a reasonably okay musician.
Right, you know. So,
Who
that was
would
it.
have
We
thunk it?
We did have a few shows where we were like, we know these songs, and then we get up and play them, and it was terrible.
Yeah.
So
You
Starting
all know
June
them
22nd of this year,
differently?
then he moved back, and then we started practicing,
Yeah.
and then we kind of got okay.
How often are you practicing, and how easy is it to coordinate your lives with that?
I would say generally it's about almost once a week, if not every other, at most.
We did twice this week.
We did.
Is this
That was a
number
miscommunication on Jason's
This
part.
is actually tonight would be number 3 in a row.
It's my fault.
two? It's your fault.
I have trivia once a month, and I've been doing it for 6 years,
No,
and
no,
I'm
no,
not
it's-
missing trivia.
Jason didn't know that Drew had Wednesday night off too.
No, it
That's
yeah,
That's
so
why we
I
did
would have gone to
Tuesday.
trivia as well, but I didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is a reason. There is a group
I gotta
chat.
admit, this band is breaking up again
yeah, we're
tonight.
done.
Twice. In one interview, we're done.
As soon as I
Is that the
stop
next
sweating, I'm
song?
leaving.
I hate this band. I hate this band.
Give me a beer first.
I'm gonna leave with the 30 in hand.
There you go.
There you go. Look, I hate this band. I'm gonna leave with the 30 in hand.
I
Look,
like
it's
it.
writing
Oh,
itself.
man, it
It's-
really
I love
is.
his hams.
It all rhymed. We Dr. Seuss'd it up a little
I
bit.
love his hams.
Oh, I see what she did
Yeah.
there.
So when you
Well,
guys
what I
are
tried to do.
booking shows, who primarily is Okay, I don't even
Yes,
have to finish
no.
that. Oh, then fine, Jason. I'll turn it over to you.
Please, please.
All right. So when you book, are you reaching out to venues first, or are you reaching out to bands? And then, ready? You gotta pay attention
All
to
right,
these
here we
multiple.
go, here we go, here we go. Ready, 2 parters.
Ready? When you reach out to said venue,
Okay.
are you then having to set the whole show up if they say yes?
It depends. Well, early on, it was before we knew people. It was reaching out to venues and being like, "What do you have? We'll bring, and just call up friends, bands, or whatever." Now that we've been around for a minute and know bands in different areas, it's more like we'll reach out to a band and say, hey, we'd love to do a show in Green Bay, or we'd love to do a show in Oshkosh, or maybe we'll hit up the first rule for a show in Kenosha. Since we're playing with them in Madison, whatever, something like that.
Sometimes we'll set a show up at a show too. Even like
There's been times where we'll be like, hey, this would be cool, we should do this again. All right, let's do it wherever.
A lot of our Union Park shows have been that because they're usually 2 touring bands that show up, and from that, like Courtesy of Tim and Small Town Symphony set up a show there.
So there's Union Park shows. What's that all about? Maybe send you a show.
You'll have to wait till like the next quarter because we're booked. But
That's fine. Let's book it.
But that's like we're fortunate enough to have Union Park. Sheila, the owner of that bar, called me and she goes, "Hey Jess, I love what you do. I want to hire you to come do this." And I said, "What?" And she goes, "I'm going to pay you to come do your show at our place." And I said, "Oh." And she threw out the number and I said, "Yes." And we are allowed to pay every single band that comes and plays that.
Awesome.
And we have a featured artist because I want to collaborate and have, music and art, because artists usually help bands.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're usually leaving with money in hand as well. And so everybody kind of leaves happy. We record just like we do here. And it allowed us to have more open dates for all the backlog of people who are like, "I want on your show, I want on your show." Well, after I post like dates available, that shit's gone in about 10 minutes. So now we're going to do it every quarter. So make sure to watch the page.
Okay. We'll definitely talk.
Because we're
after
booked
this
through
then.
December.
That's fine.
And it's become a lot. But it's fun. And if you guys are available just to come out and hang, they're always free. And I know Madison's a hike, but the next show we're doing is October 20th with Kenosha's own Scorned Rotten. They're amazing. They're new, and I think they're really bringing revitalized life back into the scene. And a band from Indiana called Dissonance and Dissent, which is a ska punk political band, and it's a Halloween party, so come dressed up.
I did see that.
And Witch's Brew is going to be the drink. That's the special drink, which is super delicious. And the featured artist is Rusty Chicken. He has been on the show. He's played, but he also does art. One of the pieces on our fridge is from him because he brought us art when he came and played. So it's always a fun time. So watch the page because that isn't going to go away. And come summertime, it'll be every Sunday. Right now through the winter time, because we have kids, it's every other. Because they were starting by the end of the summer to be like, "Why don't we ever see you again?" I was like, "This is like my job, man. Why do you have 2 jobs? Why can't we come?" Because you're not 21. Alex today, the 8-year-old, was like, "When I turn 21, I'm having my first beer." I was like, "Okay, whatever, man." All right. Okay.
Sounds like a
So watch the
Jake,
page.
whatever.
And as far as like booking shows in Kenosha, we do have that connection as well. So if you ever need help with that or are interested, we can hook you up with SOS, LaPorte, Hattrick's, Union Park when
Awesome.
when we're not there.
That's very much appreciated.
So we have that connection as well. And we know somebody who makes music videos if you ever want to do that too. Bam!
We've been talking
We're a
about
one-stop
that.
shop for everything.
Well, who you got for videos? Because we've just been talking about that.
So his name is Tony. He plays in a band with Kiff. It's Talking to Myself, like Productions, I think, is the title. TTM.
Films.
TTM Films. There you go. Thanks. Thank you. He also does like a little video podcast thing called Two Fat Guys on the Internet. So he's in.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. So
No, he is. Okay.
one of like the first people we worked with called the System Lights. He's one of the first groups that he made videos for, and so those we just kind of have that. So do that if you're interested.
Oh, boy.
And he does really good work. So yay! That was really foamy.
Amateur.
Amateurs.
Oh my god.
Tap tap, bud.
So let's talk about you and the theater.
Oh,
Yes,
Because
yeah.
he's wearing the shirt, you have it on your drum kit. Talk
That's
about
right.
We had it
that.
for the show.
Yeah,
Now we're-
yeah. I own the Mode Theater in Waterloo, which is about an hour from Milwaukee, 30 minutes east of Madison. It's an old movie theater that was opened in the mid-30s. I think that's right. And ran until the mid-80s, until the multiplex sort of shut down the single-screen theater. Sat in disrepair for about a decade. Then somebody grabbed it, dropped the theater seating down to level, put a second floor on, so my wife and I live in an apartment upstairs. Our kitchen is the old projection booth. And we do music, art shows. We have a comedy show tomorrow night. It's a rental space. So if you're interested in it, themodetheater.com.
Cool. So what you just said to me is that, like, if people go, hey, we need help with tours, I can direct them that way. Hey, look at that!
I mean, it's this whole thing,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You know somebody.
It's like band buds, but like venue booker buds. You know?
We kind of need that because I don't know how your experience has been, but almost everyone from everywhere across the fucking United States, Canada even, who else? Russia and some of Mexico have agreed that booking is very difficult to do if it's not a specific niche, if it's not a cover band, and if the venue doesn't know you. And so you're like almost, sucking cock to get a show to get paid $50, which that's a really poor fucking prostitution gig. Let me tell you. Just saying. Like, if you go and pimp yourself, you best have a set price. And
It's gonna be more than $50.
Right.
I promise. Yeah.
so yes, I'm very much like, if there's more people, we can definitely direct bands your way. 'Cause
Fantastic. I will say this: no cover bands though.
We're in the same, yes.
See, now we're friends. We're best friends.
Yay! No, dude, it really frustrates me because people will be like, hey, Jess, I went on your show. We're a cover band. I'm like, sorry, we had one recently for Union Park. And I said, nope, sorry, it has to be all original. Well, you're more of an open mic anyway, and they actually provide more at an open mic than you do. And I was like, I hope you get better soon. So
Cool. Good luck, buddy.
right, like I'm not gonna pay $600 to hear something I can play
Touch tunes.
off my phone. Yeah, right. I put $150 in and I got 6 credits. I don't need to pay you $600 for that. Yay.
Yeah, if it's on Spotify and it doesn't say your name under who wrote this, we're not gonna do business.
No, good. I'm glad that that's something too. Yay.
Also, I refuse to pay ASCAP DMI fees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, roll for
Well, and
power.
trying to explain that to people is
Yeah.
like, what do you mean? And I'm like, really, what you're doing is copyright infringement, and you're just lucky no one's caught on.
Most people don't even
Yeah.
know about that. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even until probably a year ago when I asked the place about it, and they said, yeah, we have to pay a thing if we have cover bands.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that, so.
Yes, the music industry will rape you, which is why we're trying to take it back.
Yep.
Which is why I strongly encourage you guys, if you
Write
have,
your own music.
write it. Also, release it yourself. Release it yourself. So if you use things like CD Baby or DistroKid or TuneCore, they own your shit. And every single time we go to post these videos, it pops up, ooh, copyright infringement. So-and-so owns the rights to this music. And it's never the band because they've given their rights away. So if you're going to distribute your music digitally, do it smart and use Record Union because you maintain your rights and your royalties when you use that distributor. Or just fucking do it yourself. I have found how to do this now. We've done lots of research on this. I've sent a band from Indiana contacted me at fucking 12:30 at night, and he was like, "Hey, we were told to contact you." I was like, "What? You have a promoter, like you work with a company." "Yeah, but you're the girl to go to. How do we get our music back?" I'm like, "Ooh, you paid Sony Music. You don't. Write something new." So we had a very long conversation, but it led me to figure out where the links were to submit to Spotify and Pandora. So you can do these things all on your own. Do those things all on your own. Own your own goddamn music. You spend the time to write it and play it and perform it and travel and blood, sweat, and tears, and you should keep that stuff. Just like an artist shouldn't have to pay a middleman to get a booth space to sell stuff.
Fair enough. We were gonna go through DistroKid. I thought they were all right. I used Record Union for my last band's EPs that we put out.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much more expensive though.
Yes, but you get to maintain that shit.
There's that. There's so that.
Well, I feel like we're gonna have a big chat tomorrow. I don't know what happened just now, but yeah.
Sorry.
I got a word.
Wow.
I got a word.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on. We had a plan.
I
Shot it all
touched
out.
on the 3 important things you wanted me to.
Yeah. No, I did. Yeah.
How about imagery? Who does your artwork if you have artwork? I know the Paps thing. We have one of those too for the Just the Cat kids. But do you have an artist or do you guys create your own art? What does that look like?
Okay, so
And do you have merch?
we do have merch. Actually, I brought a bunch of merch because I know you do the merch Monday. So I wasn't sure how you did that. So
You know how we do that? We
I
give
don't.
the power back to the fucking people.
Oh my god.
And we say take a picture and post it on our Facebook page
Well,
and tag the band or how you got the merch so that it links it right to say and the Brash Menagerie so they can click it and go.
okay.
And then we share it on all of our social media platforms.
Sweet. I have a backpack full of stuff. We'll take a picture after this. So yeah, no, the. So how
A
did
couple
this-
of the last logo. I mean, like I said, I've only been in this band for a couple of weeks. But a really good friend of mine, Megan Weber.
Yeah.
Megan Weber out of Madison did the last couple logos. She did the banana thing, the White Claw.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
the White Claw.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
been a couple. She does
So-
Yeah.
art for. She's an artist and has worked with a couple other bands. And I just
She-
wanted to-
She's wonderful.
has-
She's actually showed at the Mode as well.
Yeah, yeah.
She is amazing. She has done, the last couple logos.
Bless you.
Thank you. Wow.
Jason gets
Excuse you.
an idea in his head, which is usually steal this PBR logo or steal this Hams logo.
The shitty beer
He
logos.
hates White Claw, but he's like, well, everybody loves it. We should probably do a White Claw T-shirt.
No. That's not how it happened.
But
at all.
then
It was a
Megan
troll.
likes White Claw, so she made that logo to
So,
fuck with him.
I asked
Yeah,
her
it
if she knew
turns
the
out-
font for it because Drew was joking about, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
And then she just came back with the logo made.
He emailed me like 2 days after I started like trying to piece it together and do it myself. She already made it, so I was like,
Yeah.
fuck it, send it to me. I'll make
I
those
was like,
shirts.
I hate this shit so much, but she just crushed it, and she's like, oh,
Why
what
do
do
you
you?
hate it?
What's that? White
Oh,
Claw?
no.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
It's
don't-
okay. He's the minority in the band this time.
Yeah, I really,
It's 3 to
I
1.
really am. It's 3-1.
It's actually 4 currently. I'm
4-1
interjecting
tonight.
myself into this. They also like White Claw, so you're just really this big.
You got
That's
problems,
fine.
bud.
That's you know what? I'm fine
Big,
with
big
it.
problems.
Listen, I know who I am.
It's alcoholic water. How can you not like that?
It's the.
Let's talk about it.
I'm not getting involved.
The neighbor above you drank White Claw.
Yes.
That would be a
No.
solo acoustic song because I'm not playing that shit.
I support that.
Write a
No.
song about it.
Yeah, I don't know if you've worked with other artists recently or.
Russ Nassity from Poison Darts did the Hams
That's right.
logo.
You gotta trace the Hams logo.
right. My friend Max did the PBR logo, and it was funny because I said, "Oh man, I'd love to do a PBR logo." So he sent it to me. He goes, "I don't want anything to do with this because you guys are gonna get sued." And I was just like, "That's fine.
Bring it on!
Bring it on. I will take any
What's
lawsuit."
going on?
That's right. PBR, sue me.
Also,
That's
Hams
fine.
or White Claw.
Or what? I would love the publicity. Please sue me. So,
We can work something out.
yeah, or we'll just play shows for you or something, whatever.
Sounds like a sponsorship.
I'm not gonna turn it down.
Yeah, buddy.
And then along
Either
those
way.
lines too, Deegan makes shirts at his theater as well.
Yeah,
and
actually made the
does-
shirt Drew's
makes merch
wear.
for
Yeah.
different bands.
Not the flannel.
Not the flannel, no.
You made that flannel? Oh my god!
It took a long time to smelt it.
Well, you also made the shirt you're wearing too.
Flannel.
Do you know what you call
Oh, yeah, I
it
did
when
make
you
this one,
fix
too.
socks?
I probably could.
No, I mean
It's gonna
like
be the opposite of haberdashery.
if
right?
you wait.
haberdashery.
No. When you fix if you have a hole in your sock and you sew it, you know what it's called? Darning.
Darn it.
You
Oh,
got
I've
a
heard that
darn
before.
socks.
Darn it.
Just so you know.
Darn
The old
Learn
man
something
sitting
new every
behind
day,
the
I guess.
camera told me
God
that.
darn it.
Never leave this house empty-headed. Woo!
Why did I tell her that?
He's also an artist. He does all of our artwork.
Oh,
So,
Nice.
yeah. What merch items you got for sale? Because I know we've reached the top of the hour, so let's talk about, one more time, plug your upcoming show, which is Saturday, which is, what is that? Hold on, today is the 10th?
It's the 12th.
12th! At the Wisco, for
At
the
the
first
Wisco.
rule.
Yep, first rule, Midnight Gravediggers, and courtesy of Tim. What was the other question?
People can find you where?
Oh yeah, God, you can find
At the
us on
Brash Menagerie on
Facebook.
Facebook. I don't think you don't do Twitter, right? There's
You
an
can find me on
Instagram.
Twitter, but we can find Instagram. We're on Bandcamp. Soon to be on Spotify. Maybe,
sweatshirts.
depending on
We'll see if we can afford that record union money.
Distro Kid. Apparently, we're fighting with Distro Kid. I don't know.
Label wars, man.
Unreal.
That's always tough.
It's bloody. It's a bloodbath.
Thank God Jason has to deal with it all, not us.
We're also on Bandcamp as well.
Yeah, Bandcamp.
Are you on SoundCloud?
No, that was
Well,
I didn't realize that was still a thing.
SoundCloud is such a thing because that, if you want to publish your music independently on Spotify, Apple Music, or Pandora, is where you have to post your music because that's where they draw their metadata from.
Oh, I think I knew
I have
that,
music on there.
actually.
Just saying.
Yeah, we have a couple of podcasts up on there, but
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
ran out of space on the free thing, and I didn't really pay for it.
Gotcha. Do you have a YouTube?
Nope.
You do now. You should start one. 'Cause
Oh.
now you got videos.
Actually, we do.
Do we?
Well, I do. It's the Brash
There's
Menagerie.
Instagram too.
Originally, okay, before the band
There's a
started,
video of me falling on a skateboard.
That's all you need.
there
I like
it
it.
is.
How long is that video?
Is
Is it-
like 30
Did
seconds.
you do that-
It's
that
literally
pop,
as
pop,
long as
pop?
his driveway.
Yeah.
It's just him going, he hits the street, wipes out immediately.
That is
Um,
okay. That's the second video we're gonna.
So
do.
yeah, it could be a whole thing.
Next
Yeah.
EP cover.
Yeah. There you go.
oh god. So yeah, Facebook, Instagram, Bandcamp,
And Saturday at the
and
Wisco.
Saturday. Yeah.
Yep.
And listen to, you never even talked about the EP.
Oh god.
No, like the name of it.
Oh, it's still
Well,
in
that's the
flux.
thing.
We're not
is
there.
we don't-
We just got the masters back.
Oh.
That's the thing is we
That's
don't
the
have
name
a
of it.
name. It'd be out
Our
already if
next
we had a
EP
name.
is gonna be jam packed.
This, yeah.
You
In
need
fact,
to like
each
write this
artist
shit
is
down. You'll go
unreal.
back and read it. Like,
I know. Jason had a few suggestions.
I had a few suggestions. They all got shot down.
so it's
What-
so
what were
brand
they,
new
though?
that it's not
Shut down.
released yet or anything, huh?
it is
Yeah.
not released. We will be ready for a release next week.
Ish.
Ish.
Well,
Okay.
we need a name.
Yeah,
The music will be. We'll have the files. That's it. We've got no artwork. We've got no name.
Well, if you need artwork, he does artwork.
Busy
Are you
weekend.
threatening me over here?
I didn't think it was
Just
a
trying to
threat.
bring it back down
It
to
was
earth.
positive encouragement.
Well, we broke up again.
God damn it!
Third time's a charm.
If we could
No,
just get
they're
through
pretty
one
good.
interview without breaking up 3 times.
We can't get through a practice without breaking up 4 times.
Oh wow, so we're less, so you're healing. Yay, we've established growth within the group tonight.
Oh,
Baby
our
steps.
therapy session.
Baby
There's still
steps.
time.
We're out of time!
Yeah.
It's been Jess the Sky Kid. This is the Brash Menagerie, and you can catch them on Facebook, Instagram for sure, Bandcamp, as well as at the Wisco on Saturday with Kenosha's own The First Rule. They're actually supposed to play Halloween here.
They are.
Yeah, so you can...
we talked about that.
You can catch that. So, without further ado, we're going to go look at merch, and you can catch us next week. Who do we have? I don't even fucking remember. Oh, Carly M. That's right, we have Carly M coming on. Okay, thanks, bye!